All right, you're asking for it, so here it is. Listen to this.
I want you fucking laughing at. We partners pod, kid. You understand? We in here drinking, singing, swinging, all that shit, dog. You sweating, getting wet, all that.
All right, welcome to the 178th episode of the Drinking Partners podcast. Yes, this is our Art Shell episode because he was on the front lines like we do for the city, but more importantly, he is the second African-American NFL head coach, and we are on the cusp of throwing the first African-American beer festival. So I felt it appropriate, this being our last Fresh Fest podcast before the festival. I felt like that was appropriate. Just, nice. Like they just said, it's crazy when the plan comes together. It just falls in line. It just happens seamlessly. I'm half your hosting tandem, Ed Bailey. I'm joined as always with my co-host, Dave Bracey. Say what up to the people.
What's good with you people? We are the Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. 178 episodes, man. We've been asking y'all, and we will continue to ask you, man. Please hop on iTunes. Rate and review. Hell, hop on Facebook, man. We got a whole ass Facebook page, man. Hop on Facebook, rate and review, man. That's how we know we're doing well. That's how we let others know that we're doing well, and that's how we continue to do well. So please hop on iTunes, hop on Facebook, rate and review.
Hey, listen, you love us. You see us in public. You tell us you love us. Now, at the click of a button, please tell the internet. Please tell the world. And as always, 178 times as of this time, and we will continue to say it in lieu of rates and reviews. And I feel like people have been giving us this more than the rates and reviews. Working. So we might want to fall back or say it in lieu of. In addition to rates and reviews, we do accept shots at Henny. Shout out to Car Guy DJ and the Conways for starting the trend and for being so supportive. As the rest of our fans.
Seeing them out all the time, man, is super dope. That support. So shout out to the city, man. A lot of support leading up to all these events and whatnot. The last 6 months or whatever has been kind of crazy since this like snow has fallen. Like,
melted.
It's melted.
I'm with you. That's why I picked you up. We homies.
Since the snow's melted, man, people been getting out or whatever. Apparently, y'all were listening to us over the wintertime when everybody was all hibernating and whatnot. So we appreciate that. Clearly, it's working because we're just me and Ed just talking to each other in the basement. It's like we're literally just in the basement. So we have no idea who the hell is listening to this. We rarely get any feedback. So it's nice to get that online. But it's also nice to get that in person. So, come up, share a little rate and review.
Yeah, and if you do leave a review, we may read it on the podcast, much like this review titled Great Podcast by who I am assuming is a real person, but then also may not because the individual's name is Mike Joyce, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
That's shout out to the Joyces. Yeah.
I mean, half man, half amazing. I don't know what this, but quick review, excellent, entertaining podcast, hilarious host. That's all we ask for, man. Just let us know.
Quick.
If you could shout out an episode that you particularly enjoyed, great. But if you want to just shout out and say, hey, we like what you're doing, we appreciate
we've
that.
had the one word, reviews or whatever, like, cool. That's it. That's it. It works. It's a review. A couple stars or whatever the fuck. That's it.
Leave the 5 stars. Always do the 5 star. Whatever number of characters you want to use, fine. But we always want 5 stars.
Like, 5 of them.
Like 4 stars, you could have just given
Listen,
extra
man.
star.
You know what? I mean, even at this point, I feel like we got enough 5s. Like, leave a 1 if we pissed you off. Like, if this is your first time listening to this episode,
only day,
and you piss us off, let us know. Tell us you don't like us.
If we pissed you off, see us in person. See us at one of our shows. Pull us to the side. We're very personable individuals. Don't leave that. It's permanent on the internet, so don't do that. Don't mess up the rating.
Let us know. We'll take all. I'll take all that hate. We need some of that hate.
Yeah, you get enough. So just he gets enough hate. You can, if you hate us, you can hate to me. Hate to me. You know what I mean? I got so much room on the hate bandwagon right now. So just, you kind of taking over that. After the bike thing, it's been all you.
You know what, man? I thought I was cool for a little
man,
while.
You son of a bitch.
I think it goes in waves, though, because I was a bad guy for a while. Then the bike thing happened, and you was the bad guy for a while. And then the fucking...
I was bad guy for like a hot second.
You was bad guy for a while. And then the Nazi thing happened. Now I'm back in the shit. But I mean, it's going to come back around. You going to do something.
I ain't going to do nothing. Look, I've been on my shit, man. I've been researching how to endear myself to the public, how to stay in good graces with folks. I've been
hanging around with
praying.
the politicians.
I've been going to church. I wear socks every day. I clean underwear, all that shit. Like, I'm not offensive at all.
It's only a matter of time.
No, it won't happen. I'm gonna be running for president soon.
Hey, I'll be with you.
You
man.
you can't be on the ticket.
I won't be on the ticket.
You can't be on the ticket.
I'll be that Karl Rove motherfucker in the background. Yeah, I mean, plotting and shit. Because I can't be a public face of any motherfucker at this point. Like, yeah, I mean, like I was looking at a couple of shits that happened in the last couple of weeks, man, and all I thought was like, man, I'm kind of glad Twitter deleted my whole fucking account, man. That was 6 years of growth.
Yeah, I would imagine it's been hellacious for you, man. Like, it's crazy just to even view and just kind of be connected, because sometimes they tag the podcast and that comes to my phone. I'm just looking like, God damn.
Bro, you know how many times I look down at my phone and just see like some like wild ass shit like, you faggot ass hack nigger, I can't wait till you die.
That's like, a lot of, do you understand the amount of hate in that? You're hating so many separate groups with one like, who hurt you?
Word?
God damn.
But like, at some point you just got to be like, I mean, you're like, you went online and like you logged in, and then you like went into the comment section and then you typed that shit in and hit send and was like, I can't wait till that motherfucker get it. And that was a whole lot of effort. And all I did was like, and then swipe left. Like, yeah, I mean, so like, I feel like, yeah, I mean, it's worth it. Like,
so do you think in that someone's, I just want to keep saying, if someone types you faggot ass hack nigga, is that on the cell phone or is that desktop?
I don't know, man.
Like, you can't. Can you do that with just your thumbs?
The hack didn't even have a C in it. It just was HAK.
Okay, so it was on the cell phone. Yeah. It was on the cell phone.
That was on the two-way.
Yeah, they got thumb fatigue.
That was a blue. That was a BlackBerry. Yeah, I mean.
Oh shit! With the little scroll ball in the middle.
He wasn't trying to scroll all. He was like, you know what, fuck it. Yeah, I mean.
Well, look, stop hating on Day on the internet. Come to one of our shows and hate on us, because look. We do a show. We do a live night of epic comedy every third Saturday at Arcade Comedy Theater, every last Saturday at Contra Theater. There's plenty of opportunity for you to pull the fuck up. Don't just be hating on us on the internet. Tell us to our face.
Come heckle in our face, man. We handle hecklers, man. And we do that. We do that down at Apis too. I mean, Thursdays of the month and whatnot. I mean, to hurry up and say something funny. I mean, so, you know, if you really want to get off, I mean, you know, whenever, come through. I mean, come say it in my face. Yeah, so right. Like literally, like, you know where I'm at. Like, I like literally tell you like I spam you with my location. So if you really want to say it to my face, we encourage that. We're in comedy here. So shout out to Arcade Comedy Theater, arcadecomedytheater.com if you're looking for tickets every third Saturday, contratheater.ticketleap.com every last Saturday, and just come through Apis, man. That's a free show. I mean, you could definitely talk your shit for the cheap down there. So
I'm kind of upset that you just let them know that we do let people know where we are at all times.
All time.
It just dawned on me like, shit, I can't run from nothing. I can't run from nothing. Like, I just think about it, like, fuck. So yeah, I'm happy.
Like,
I don't
literally post our address. Like, yeah, I mean,
so look, August 18th will be at Arcade Comedy Theater. August 25th will be at Contra Theater up in Cranberry, and August 11th will be at
Fresh Fest.
Fresh Fest.
Yo, the first black ass blackety black it up ass black fucking black beer fest in America, man. Like, it's crazy because, you know, you got your Greek festivals, and I'm like, oh man, I can't wait to get some of this beer. You know what I mean? Polish festivals and shit, the halishki be popping and whatnot. You know what I mean? You get the Italian festivals, you know, you go get some of that badass lasagna. You hear black beer festival and it's racist. Like,
yeah,
what?
Yeah,
what?
Yeah.
Like, what? Really. Nah. But I mean, it's not a real black beer festival unless you're pissing off some racist motherfuckers. So come to the Black Beer Festival, the first one in America, FreshFest, beerfest.com, man. We got 13 brewers coming in from around the country, Cajun Fire, White Lion, Harlem Brewing, Harris Family, Black Frog. I mean, it's, yeah, all these brewers coming in from New York to New Orleans. And then we've got 23 unique collaborations, brand new collaborations with some of your local faves. We've got Brew Gentleman in the building with Blowfish Barbecue. We've got Hitchhiker with Boom Concepts. We got Shoe Brew with Cloudy Pierre. We've got Butler Brew Works with Dr. Hollywood. We got Rock Bottom with Sarah Honey Young, man. We got One Hood with Apis. I mean, there's so many dope-ass collaborations going on in the building, man. So if you're a fan of beer, if you're a fan of the culture, we've got music, Byron Nash, Morris Jackson, Clara Kent, Solar Burn. So we've got a little metal, we've got a little rock, we got a little R&B, and we got a little hip-hop, a nice little range for you. You know what I mean? We're gonna have some food out there. We got Leon's food truck, the Caribbean. We got Coop Chicken and Waffles. We got Blowfish Barbecue. We got our guest here today that's gonna be in the building as well. We'll get to them here shortly, man. Like it's gonna be a lot of love in that room, in that parking lot, man. August 11th. VIP is at
Nova Place on the north side.
Yeah, I mean, you get a nice swag bag, glass, can release, glass. Oh, I said glass. You got the shirt, a private podcast with the podcast champs of the city right now, Drinking Partners. Shout out to the awards that we have garnered through that, and you get to meet the brewers a little earlier. So
Nova Place on the north side.
VIP, and then down there,
Nova Place.
August 11th. Looking for tickets, man. Freshfest, beerfest.com.
Yeah, man, be the change you want to see. So that's what we're trying to do. You know what I mean? We want in. $1 billion industry. We want in. Craft has showed us so much love with this podcast. Mm-hmm. We just want to show love back and just have a unique experience, a diverse experience for all those, for all my friends who don't know what it is, who don't understand why I'm here, sitting here drinking beer, talking stuff, and be like, look, it's more than just drinking Budweiser, man. Yeah. It's something different.
We drinking beer right now that don't even taste like beer.
Nah, man. Well, I already drank mine. So y'all bullshit. My shit is dumb. I'm see, now you just go shat on me. At least not into the microphone. So y'all hear what she said. So I'm lagging a little behind, but I was trying to play it like I'm ahead. But that's cool, man. But it's cool because this episode actually is taking it back. So we're doing the first Black Beer Festival. They were one of our first collaborators at our first night of Epic Comedy.
The very first night of Epic Very first night of Epic Comedy. They were there, man. It was a dope ass night. We got pictures from that night. Like it lives in infamy. Every once in a while it comes up on my feed. I'm like, yo, we did that shit.
Man, the picture from that night got me in trouble because I had on, I don't know whose scarf I had on. I had to explain that to wifey. I had this big ass ice cream sandwich in my hand.
Fed ice cream sandwiches and
right,
shit.
It wasn't in my hand. It was they saw the pinky had nail polish. I had a scarf. Wifey was like, I thought she was doing a show. What the fuck was happening? So it was a great night, but the morning after was a little rough for me. I made it through. I had to take her to your website. I was like, look, no, they're friends of the podcast. They're friends of the show. We got Katie and Krista here, the founders of Leona's Ice Cream in the building. Say what up to the people.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, all right. Yeah, listen, I'm sorry I eliminated the last name. I was practicing the last name so much, and I was like, you know what? I ain't gonna fuck it up.
It's okay.
They're not easy names to say.
No.
Heldstab and Piscarich. Yeah, that's a mouthful. Don't worry.
Yeah.
No.
I actually remember that first night. Do you remember the girl in the trash can?
Oh, yo! I would admit it. That was the first comedy show.
Sorry,
we had ever produced. That was BYOB. Yeah, and we had to buy insurance for that shit. We have to buy insurance for all of our shows and shit like that because of BYOB. You know what I mean?
But our sponsor was doing liquor that night, so my boy Kamal was actually doing the cocktails.
But she had came in with her family. She had brought in they had brought in all that wine. They had a whole ass cooler full of wine. And they went in and she just came out and was like, and it went into her hands. Her hands were up into her face and she was trying to hold it in and it just went into her hands, but back into her face. And we were scrambling to get the fucking garbage can. So it was in her face, on the floor, and then in the can. And I was just like, are we going to get sued? Is this the last night of comedy?
Yeah, we was on our way to not having that again.
You cannot have a white girl death.
Wait, was that
on
her
your
scarf?
hand. She dropped the scarf.
That was her scarf?
I was glad we made it through that shit. But yeah.
It's the mark of a good night.
But those cocktails were killer. They were amazing.
Yeah, well, Kamal's a swaggy ass dude. He wasn't just gonna do no regular cocktails. I don't even know what those were. Those were like pre-prohibition.
Pre-prohibition.
Yeah, they were
like,
fancy. They were real fancy.
They taste like juice, like this beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then they had people coming out in the hall. She threw up that whole ice cream sandwich.
Oh, shit.
She threw that all up. But it was I really enjoyed that first night just because the diversity and like what we were bringing to the table. You had the comedy in the one room. You had the cocktails. Who, I don't even think he was. Never mind. I don't even want to get into that.
Don't bring it up.
I know we passed the statute of limitations on that one. So
Just don't bring it up.
And we had the ice cream sandwiches as well, so you could kind of get a feel on all the local shit that's happening in the city. And like, I think that was the impetus of us like really trying to affect change in what we offer to people. Because that was the first time I've ever been to a BYOB comedy show.
Yeah.
We were in a playwrights theater, so it wasn't even a theater set up for comedy.
Yeah.
But it added a different type of backdrop. And
it was crazy because we were
Yeah.
like, we didn't expect the crowd that we got or whatever. It was sold out. Like, it was standing room only. And like, we ended up having to like find chairs and shit. We were like scrambling with like, we had the pew. We had like church pews, like bringing it in that shit. Like, it was wild as hell.
It was the soul food of comedy. It's like you take the scraps and you turn it to a delicious meal. Like that's what we did that night. And at that point, you all were how far in with Leona's?
We were maybe a year.
Maybe.
Yeah,
Maybe.
It was
fairly
new.
real early. We were still at Zeke's maybe.
Yeah, it was probably our first year.
Our first year making ice cream. Yeah. And I just remember watching the crowd go in and I was like, whoa, this is like a super diverse crowd. And I was like, this is going to be fun.
Yeah.
Definitely
You
going to
could
be
tell.
interesting.
Yeah. And I was like, I made bets on which like suburban looking middle-aged white lady was going to walk out first.
Have we had walkouts?
No one walked out.
Have we had?
I was like,
we've had walkouts at some point in our like a few of them. I mean, we've been doing it now for what, like 4 years? Yeah, I mean, in 4 years you're gonna have some walkouts.
well,
like,
yeah. Well, someone who
but
doesn't
it's-
realize like that it's a comedy show
Yeah.
and they don't maybe
Yeah.
not bring their sense of humor with them.
Yeah, that happens.
Oh yeah, no, we've had a couple at Comptra. Like we're celebrating 2 years, and in that 2 years, we've had like 3 walkouts.
Which
you know
is-
what I mean, which is actually
Which
pretty
is
fucking
pretty.
good.
That's pretty
fucking
decent.
good for two
Yeah.
niggas in the North Hills. Like, I mean, like that's yeah. I mean, that's a whole because we don't like pull punches up there.
No,
So,
exactly. You're
like,
not holding back.
Yeah, I mean, we go the fuck, and that's what I love about what we're able to do is that like we're able to be ourselves. Like you ain't gonna come to like a drinking partner show and get like some old like cater to the crowd like like nah, I mean double we ain't gonna get none of that shit. Like we punch you in the face, and they still fucks with us. So they only have a few walkouts. I don't think we had any
impressive.
walkouts. We didn't have any walkouts. We had one that walked out, puked in the can, and then went back in.
Yes.
She went back in.
Wait, we let her back in?
Yeah,
She
we
did,
had
yeah.
rallied.
That's what you see. That's why you got to support local because we don't kick you out. We don't necessarily follow the laws. Like legally, you had to be sent home.
Well, legally, we had already cut her off. So, yeah, I mean, we wasn't giving her any more. So she
Right.
was.
I don't even know if we could. Can you cut somebody off or something? Never mind. I don't even, like, we not. You know what I mean? But so for the listeners who are not familiar, I mean, you guys are everywhere. Just let them know about the history of Leona's, how it came to be.
Sure. So we just celebrated our 5-year anniversary, and
Congratulations.
thank you. Grown up.
Yeah.
I wish we had horns. We'll throw some horns in there.
And we make ice cream and ice cream sandwiches. It's all super premium ice cream, real dairy, but 100% lactose free.
So tell me.
Yeah, explain that.
Yeah.
Two
sure.
two things. One, what the hell is like what makes it premium versus like, bullshit ingredients? And two, like why lactose?
So super premium is an FDA designation.
Oh shit.
So if you go to the grocery store and you see premium ice cream, regular ice cream just says ice cream, and
Or my favorite, frozen dessert.
frozen dessert.
frozen dessert.
So that's not
Which
even
means
ice
it's
cream.
Not ice
legally
cream.
not allowed to be called ice cream. And it has to do with
shit.
how
They
much
ain't even
butter
Oh, that's
fat.
like neck bones of ice cream.
like wow.
Yeah, that's basically Cool Whip.
Oh,
yeah.
Because you know
frozen.
what? Cool Whip isn't whipped cream. It's
I don't know
just
what the
Yeah,
fuck
it's
that
it's just
is.
white.
Hydrated,
Oh,
like
it
oil.
is, isn't it? Yeah, it's just whipped oil.
It's
Yeah, that's
hydrogenated or some
Hydrogenated
such
oil.
fucking
thing. I don't know.
disgusting.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, but it's delicious on pie.
Yeah, I haven't had it in so damn. Like, I'm
Oh,
not
it's
a
good.
big whip fan. I'm a big dairy fan. I'm not
Yeah.
a big Cool Whip fan, but it's probably because it's not real dairy.
It's not
Like,
real,
something
yeah.
about dairy that
Yeah. It's that fat that's so good.
Fat. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Very fat.
So super premium has to have really good ingredients. And I think it's like 12% or 14% butterfat or above. And it has to have less than 50% air, usually around 30 to 40%. So if you go to the store and you pick up a gallon of $2 ice cream and you pick up a gallon of $20 ice cream, it's going to be 3-4 times as heavy. So you're actually buying air.
You're just
Yeah.
over there.
So they treat ice cream like chips.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
even think of
They
that.
weigh
Running
the
off
air.
of
You know, when you
man.
get that Breyers, that joint is kind of, and
It's
that ain't
very
the bullshit on no brands, but yeah, that joint
It's
do be
light.
kind of light.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah. But them little pint dips that you get be heavy than the motherfucker. Like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean, because they be thick and you get that whole like.
Like you have to sit out on the counter for 5
you gotta
minutes
let it-
before you can scoop it.
Yeah,
That's our stuff.
that's the See, that's crazy. I didn't even know motherfuckers out
Yeah.
here selling air. You know how long I've been trying to pimp air? Like, yeah, I mean, I used to have this idea where I was going to get these cubes, and it would be like, like tourist air. So you would like sell it like on like CVC or QVC or whatever the fuck,
QVC, yeah.
and be like, mountain fresh air. Like you get like, captured on like the Andes mountains or whatever. Like you can, or like you just ship it out. And I was going to have motherfuckers.
it's a sound business plan.
I mean, it's like I was gonna have motherfuckers just like breathe, like, oh, you can get like this bagged air, like shipped straight from the Himalayas, like, you know what I mean?
Don't-
And motherfuckers be like, oh shit,
That
like,
don't sound like a good idea.
niggas, they
Go to
sell
LA.
that- They sell that, like, yo, there was remember those,
But you got to
oxygen
have an
bars?
actual product outside of the air to.
It would be cubes. It would say Himalayas.
So
It would
what's
say,
good
like,
about the cubes though? See, the cubes got to be
it
collector's
just-
item. They
it
got to.
has Himalayan air in that bitch. You see what I'm saying? Look, do you remember?
I feel like you
oxygen
could do
bars?
that. Yes.
Yeah.
You remember,
Yes.
motherfuckers used to actually pay to sniff fucking cherry scent.
yeah, you like
Oh,
hook
yeah.
up and
Yeah.
breathe.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
bruh, motherfuckers
come
been
from a
selling
different
air
place.
for a while. It's different types
Well,
of
yeah,
air.
Fritos and Doritos,
Yeah.
all that they selling, but it's bags of chips in conjunction
bag.
with the
I was gonna put
I'm
it in
not
cubes.
buying just air.
But you
are.
didn't know you were until now because that light
Right.
ass ice cream was air.
Yeah.
Yep.
yeah, but it's disguised as ice cream. You're not even disguising it.
Well, see, we in
You
the
just
Trump
like, yo,
era.
I'm gonna get
We
you some air,
We in
fam.
the Trump era. You ain't got to disguise shit anymore. You can just be straight out. I'm gonna sell you shit. And motherfuckers like, he's honest.
So, like, does the quality of air affect the ice cream?
Only
Like, if he's
filtered air.
Yeah,
like, can he sell you some of that
Organic air.
mountaintop air, and then now your shit go from premium to
It's-
super
yeah,
premium?
The Himalayan. I mean, we infuse this ice cream with Himalayan air, bruh. Like, bruh.
Now,
Motherfuckers will
Pittsburgh-
buy that shit.
Pittsburgh sees right through that. People here are just not gonna
Blue
buy
collar,
it.
we look. When you're a blue collar, like if you're rooted in blue collar, you don't get into like a lot of the bullshit. Like,
Yeah,
'cause
you
you
gotta-
gotta know exactly where those dollars are going, and I'm
Yep.
not. Yeah,
Because there are a few
air.
of them.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Right.
now with dairy and ice cream, like I've never known anything about it. Were you educated specifically because you were going in ice cream, or were you a chef by nature before? How did you? Because
Well-
that's an in-depth look at dairy and ice cream.
Yeah,
I never
yeah.
even thought of
So
that.
this is Katie. I started as a public relations person. I did food PR for years, big Fortune 500 brands like Kellogg's and stuff like that. And I just realized I was kind of on the wrong side of the desk.
Okay.
I was on the business end, and I wanted to be on the food end. So I quit my job and went and got another position at a place that allowed me to go to culinary school
For free.
for free, which is awesome.
Yeah.
So I already paid for college. I don't really want to
Pay for it
twice. Once is enough. Plenty.
Nobody ever pays for college.
Well, I worked hard for scholarships
They pay on
once. We pay on it.
We put something on it.
Yeah.
I'll pay for college.
It's like,
I'll put something towards it.
It's not a past tense.
it's a continuing
present
tense.
future
I'd
tense.
just be
Yeah.
dead.
That's
Yeah.
it doesn't exist. But yeah, so and then through culinary school, I knew I wanted to do something with food, and Krista and I wanted to do something together with food, and we got married.
Yeah.
And for a wedding present, we got an ice cream maker.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah.
this is awesome / sucks because I'm lactose intolerant and I can't eat ice cream.
And I was like, make lactose free ice cream.
And
Oh, just that simple.
Just-
You knew that existed.
Just take the good stuff out.
Krista is a master of like obvious solutions.
It's like, just call me Captain Obvious.
I mean, and because I'm like, oh, well, how do you do that? And she's like,
Google.
just do it. I was like, okay.
Don't you hate the type that like that?
just make it happen.
They got all the answers, but the real answer is go to Google.
Yeah.
Like, you ain't slick.
It's like, how do I figure that out? But I did, and we ended up having a little party at our house, and I made like 11 or 12 different ice creams.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, I don't do things very small.
I see.
I just have to. I get a little obsessed, and then I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna.
Well, somebody bought you an ice cream maker, and now you're just fucking doing it for a living. So
Right,
clearly,
exactly. I escalate.
Clearly, you don't
I
have
escalate
that.
quickly.
Go hard or go home.
Right, exactly.
Bet I won't. Like,
Right. So then I ended up, I knew I needed to know more about ice cream because ice cream is very much a science. And I needed to know the science behind it. So I went to the Penn State ice cream short course. And it was, when I went, it was the 125th year. And it's at their dairy. And you learn the science of ice cream, how to freeze, how fat freezes, how dairy freezes, what different ingredients give you a different mouthfeel. Yeah. Is your mind blown over there? It's ice cream school.
I'm learning so much about what I ingest with this podcast. Like,
So he drank this beer yesterday, and he was like, "Well, I didn't know this was in it," and she was like, "Well, you didn't ask before you put it in your body." Like, I don't like. I mean, 'cause clearly Ed has an issue with just like throwing things in there and then asking later.
First of all, I'm gonna pause that because I don't know how you meant that, but I'm like most Americans. I know certain shit hasn't killed me, and I just stick with it. But I don't know what's in it. I don't know how it comes to be. Like, I didn't know the term mouthfeel before this podcast. Now you said mouthfeel in relation to ice cream. That just fucked me up. I was just like, you know what? It is relatable to all things you eat.
How many times I've been talking about the texture, man? Like
texture matters.
People do not put enough emphasis on texture, and they try to like I talk about noodles and how like I only like the flat noodles. I do not like the thick. I hate gnocchi. Fucking gnocchi is the worst fucking thing. But
Squidgy.
I love lasagnas. Like I love like the thin angel hair or whatever.
Yeah.
And people are like, but noodles are noodles. And I'm like, do you not understand the reason why they have so many fucking noodles? They're all noodles. They're all made out of the same shit. The only thing that you're choosing one over the other is the fucking texture. But you're gonna look at me because I'm a discerning texture type motherfucker. Like, yeah, I mean, like, so yeah, no, texture matters, man. Like, hella. And again, with lactose, I've imagined like that's a whole lot to do with it.
So actually, it doesn't. And let me
Really?
tell you why. So lactose is just sugar, and it's a disaccharide. So not to get too sciencey, but there's like 2 particles to it. And when it hits your body, if you're lactose intolerant, your body can't break it down to digest it, and that's why you get sick. So to break it down, you just add the enzyme that your body isn't producing, lactase. So it's just a little bit of science, a little bit of magic, and it breaks down the sugar so your body can digest it, and it changes nothing
Wow.
except not making you sick. There's no flavor change. There's no texture
Why don't they
change
just add this to everything?
because
why
it's
would
a-
they not? Why not?
because they sell a ton of stuff without it.
Yeah. So
It's like, why? If people are going to buy it without adding an extra step in cost? But selfishly,
No, but what I'm saying
I
for
need
like
to eat ice
lactose
cream.
intolerant like people or whatever, because I see all like the lactate milks and like all the
Yep.
there's a whole like
Yeah.
industry for lactose intolerant people or whatever. Like, I mean, and
it tastes exactly the same.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
yeah, well, I mean, a lot of these don't though. Like, I mean, not I'm not talking about yours, but a lot of the lactose, like, I mean, the lactose free like products that you get don't like you could tell the difference. Like, I know when I taste it, I mean, like, and I'm like, well, if you all you have to do is add this in there, then why not just add that instead of taking it out?
So a lot of times, so like lactose free ice cream, right? If you look at it, it is not premium, nor is it super premium. It is just plain ice cream. So it's about 10% butterfat and about 100% air, like 100% overrun.
Yeah.
So that's
why
why you're not tasting like
Quality,
the
like-
difference between lactose free and non lactose free. You're
I'm just
tasting the
tasting
difference
quality
between
of the
Ice cream.
Yeah.
ice cream that's not great, dare I say, shitty ice cream.
Yeah, gotcha.
You can say shitty ice cream.
Yeah,
Shitty
yeah,
ice cream.
yeah,
It's all right. We don't own ice cream.
Right.
I am not
We
invested.
don't give a fuck.
Yeah. But that's what you're tasting quality,
Yeah.
not
the
lactose.
of
Yep.
sugar.
Yep, because it just changes one sugar to another. It goes sweet to sweet.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really change anything.
Gotcha.
So I
No.
find it interesting in your story. So someone buys you an ice cream maker for your wedding gift, which I think
Is it
when
pretty?
which is so this person I assume they now attach themselves to the success of Leona's. But at the time,
We actually got two, but
we
yeah.
returned one.
you got
Turned
two.
one.
Oh shit! Who? Okay, so
We
but
didn't
they don't know which
They
one
don't
got
know.
returned.
No.
All right, so we not. so they both like I started this shit, and you might not.
I only remember one of them, so I can't even tell you.
So a couple of questions.
Yes.
One is an ice cream maker a typical wedding gift, or is it?
It's
Sound like it's in the realm of things.
it's in the realm of
but it is a weird thing to get somebody
Yeah.
that's lactose
Well,
intolerant.
it was like an attachment to like a KitchenAid mixer.
yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I was
Yeah.
thinking like I've never went on a registry and seen that.
Because that's what I'm saying. Like that's just weird that somebody be like, oh, and just like hand you something and be like, like you know what I mean? It's just,
Right.
It seems almost like
Did we register for
callous.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know if we registered for it or not.
was a
but
long time ago.
I feel like we didn't because we got two, but who knows?
Right. But what I do find most interesting is okay, so you get this ice cream maker, don't know what you want to do with it. She's lactose intolerant. But you dive right in, you do what, 11, 12 flavors at the first party, and then you two decide to partner in a business, which a lot of times married couples don't do well partnering in business. Like how did
Man, shit. Me and Kat is still trying to figure that. We ain't even got to the married part. We still trying to figure this shit out.
So how did you one know? Okay, we're gonna start this business, and two, we're gonna do it together. Like we're gonna.
Well, so
We started out dating long distance for about a year and a half before she moved to Pittsburgh.
Okay.
And that really helped because, like for most couples, I think the important thing is like communication, and that's where you fail a lot. And we were like forced to do it. And this was like not even around where the iPhone was.
I had to text
this is like MySpace.
on my flip phone.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, it was that.
yeah.
it
Oh,
was
like the
that long
dude that
ago.
called him
That's real
a
love.
lifeless.
If you was texting
He had a flip
back in the day and had the whole
I mean,
That guy-
like texting on MySpace, Messenger, or whatever it's called
Oh, yeah.
then, and who knows,
MySpace.
right?
Wow.
So like we did that, and then she moved here, and we decided to get married. We got married, but then before we started the business, we remodeled a house. Yeah.
So I don't
And,
know if you realize I don't really sit still very well.
Yeah.
Well,
I
you
did not realize
11,
that
12
either.
flavors of ice cream.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I did not realize that. Either.
I was
You're gonna learn today.
I learned.
I was gonna say like, is that, like I did the long distance dating back in the day or whatever. The thing is that like that's such a weird transition because like you may have like a great like communication or whatever and you have that aspect, but then what you lack is that like that how do you deal day to day, like I mean like and then to add not only to like so have to deal with that, but then like work with somebody.
Yep.
So like because like so now you're going from long distance to here, figure each other, and then adding the fact that like we're gonna go home, we're gonna be together, we're gonna work, we're gonna be together. Like
Yeah, we haven't learned
Yeah.
how to give each other space because the space was always intrinsic in the relationship because
Yeah.
we're long distance. So.
I work from home a lot.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So yeah. You have the built-in. Like, yeah. Because I mean, I know these couples that just they're always together. They don't ever spend time apart, and it's like how?
No.
But like
no.
you've had it built in. Like
And it's been gradual.
Yeah.
It's been gradual. So like
I've had a full-time job. We both had full-time jobs when we started. And then she went full-time Leona's. And then I still had a job until a full-time job until what? Like a year and a half ago, almost 2 years. And I just naturally stayed out of the kitchen because it's not really my thing. I'm more like logistics and other things.
So define roles.
Yeah. And I,
Exactly.
And I would never like step on her toes.
defined roles. I know somebody edited, like listening to this podcast, write it up. Defined roles.
make a note. I don't step in your world and you don't step in
know
mine.
Right.
your lane.
your
know
lane.
your
Know your
lane,
lane.
and
Yeah.
you stay in that motherfucker. Because I know my lane. Like when it comes to graphic design and shit, I don't know shit about that. I'm
Same.
gonna just
Right.
let that ride. Yeah, I mean, like
And you only add commentary when asked.
That's
Yeah.
Can you?
There it is.
That is a key to a happy marriage.
We isolate that.
God damn. You know
a
how
happy
hard
marriage.
of a I don't understand why that's
That
such a
needs to be my
hard
ringtone.
concept for people. Stop coming in talking about, but can't you just? No, I can't. Even if I could, that's just not how I'm doing it. It hasn't caused an issue
that's
yet.
The thing is that like when you're offering advice, you're offering it from the outside, and you don't know all the intricacies that have to like, you know what I mean, to make that advice work or whatever. You know what I mean? And again, I don't know, because I'll be like, I knew that just with graphic designers, be like, you know what? Can you just do this, and this? And it's like, motherfucker, you know what program I'm working with? Like that's
Right?
yeah, I mean, like, do you got 10,000 that I can? Yeah, I mean, so it's like knowing like what you do. So like, yeah, I mean, when they say you can't, that is awesome. I hope these people. That might be the best relationship advice we've had on this podcast in 178 episodes.
Know your role and shut your mouth.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. I mean, when we first started the house, like we bought a house that needed to be most of it
90% gutted.
Yeah, got it.
Okay.
And everybody would come up to us and like pat me on the arm and be like, you know, renovation is hard on a relationship. And I'm like
every single person.
And I'm like,
I'm listening hard as hell now because I'm right in the
You're
midst
about
of
to do it.
I'm doing this.
I know.
And now I'm getting scared.
But you know what? You know what?
I'm scared that you already talked to her about it. So you're her outlet. You are now a part of this process. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. Well, this is the thing. What we did to deal with it. It was almost. We don't have kids, but I feel that it's this way with parenting too. It's us against them.
Yeah.
It's us against the house. Sometimes the house wins.
You gotta have a unified front.
That's
Yeah.
right. No matter what. No matter if you
what.
don't disagree with her or not. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
It's like you're on my team. The house is our adversary.
Yeah.
If the house wins, then we put our hammer down and we walk away and go get beers.
And that's exactly what we did at least twice.
Yeah.
Look
I
at
almost
Kraft coming into this.
Yeah.
We did
Look at
a
what
Harris-
Kraft can do. Won't it do it?
Right? We went to Harris Grill.
Yeah, and just drank.
Oh, bacon night. Oh.
Right?
Well, it was funny. That was the same. So in the only one of the things I remember about that night is she ripped her pants while we were like working on the house with like a nail or something, like all the
Knee
way
to
down,
hip.
knee to hip.
Yeah.
Oh no! It just like it caught a nail for a little hole, and then as soon
And
as
it
she
just took
bent
it.
down, it just went. It was insane.
Flapping open. And I was like, we got to go get beers. So
Yeah.
I just tied a
Hoodie
around my waist and turned it funny. I'm like, let's go.
I see why you married her. I see why you married her. Every man needs one. Be like some shit go wrong. Be like, look, we got to go get a beer.
Yeah. Yo.
I'm not about to waste time changing. I'm gonna put a little Band-Aid on these jeans and we could go
that
now.
That is the key to a happy. Let's go. No, don't even motherfucking pat. Don't get in the mirror. We just need to go.
Yeah,
We're covered with paint. It was bad.
yeah. They got used to it.
Well, hell yeah. That's the only response. Well, hell yeah. So what are we drinking now?
So this is a Hitchhiker's Hole Punch Tangerine, or Tangerine Hole Punch, I believe.
Did we have this when we had it?
So
We've had a few hole punches. It's a series. I don't think we've had the tangerine. The last one they brought was the blueberry.
yes, it was excellent.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
This is also very, very good.
Yeah, this whole series. Is
The way they are so true to the flavor. Shout out to Hitchhiker for that,
Yeah.
man. So true to the flavors.
I believe they released it in cans in like mid July, so a few weeks ago. But it's just amazing.
So how far into Leona's did you all
God,
begin to partner with the craft scene? Because here on the podcast, we didn't originally start as a craft beer
did.
podcast, but all of a sudden that scene embraced us. And with you, I mean, the same. I mean, everybody talks Leona's. You guys
Yeah,
are like
it's
the
almost
Apis of
synonymous.
food.
Yeah.
Like, you know how Apis is everywhere and everybody rocks with
Yeah.
Dave and them. Like, it's the same with Leona's except for instead
You're
of
like the drinking
beverage
partners
you
with
have.
ice cream. Yeah,
Right.
I mean, I mean, you don't make beer, but you're in it.
But you're
Right.
in
You know
it.
what I mean, like, everybody
You're all
know
the
y'all.
way in.
So we love beer, and we've loved beer forever. We went to Belgium on our honeymoon just to drink beer, and
Y'all are fucking perfect ass relationship.
we started doing the food truck roundups at the Brew Gentleman, and we met a ton of people.
Shout out
and
to
then
BG.
and then from there we met the Grist House people and the Co-Star people, and I actually have known the Roundabout people for probably since 2006. So was that 12 years?
Wow.
And Diane and I used to do roller derby together, so I love those guys. But Grist House was actually the first brewery in Pittsburgh that started carrying our sandwiches.
Oh, Grist House was first.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had a similar trajectory.
Yeah.
We went to Brew Gentleman. We were at Grist House shortly thereafter.
Brew Gentlemen, actually, they introduced us to Grist House and Hitchhiker.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like that's the same with
the
us, too.
freshman cask they did that year.
Yeah. Delicious.
Yeah.
I mean, and they're just all so talented, and they're all just really nice, and they just really embraced us, and they were like, we're like, fuck yeah, ice cream and beer go together, and they're like, yes, that's what we want to hear. And then we did we did actual pairings with beer and ice cream sandwiches with the Brew Gentlemen for I think two or three times.
Yeah.
And that was just a lot of fun because they made beer, and then we'd pair ice cream sandwiches with, or we'd make an ice cream sandwich with their beer.
Are you pairing it for the festival?
We don't know yet.
We
haven't decided.
We need to have some previews of what is being brewed locally with collaborations.
I'm gonna go ahead and put some work in it.
Yeah, because I mean, so right now, to pair with the Hitchhiker tangerine hole punch, we brought a tangerine blackberry on a bergamot shortbread cookie.
Yeah, so it's got a black.
That's a mouthful of a mouthful. Pause, I think, but that
blackberry tangerine.
On bergamot. That's what I remember.
Bergamot is the Earl Grey, the spice that's in Earl Grey, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so grab a big piece. We make it's tangerine juice in the actual ice cream with a blackberry ripple.
Yeah.
We use whole blackberries and cook them down.
Oh, well, that's fucking crazy. Like it's like crispy.
But buttery, right?
You know what it tastes like? You know when you get your Fruity Pebbles and they still crunchy?
Yeah.
You know, before they go soggy? You can have this consistently in a whole ass big cookie. That Fruity Pebbles taste. This is great, and it pairs very well. How difficult is it to pair with
I've never
with
really
beer?
washed ice cream down with beer.
So I don't think it's difficult really to pair ice cream and beer.
No.
Probably because we drink a lot of beer.
Yeah.
See,
we understand the flavorings and how.
And I usually don't mix like dairy at all with like alcohol or whatever. You know what I mean? But this.
Buzzy over here trying to recreate the picture that got me in trouble. You better chill out.
Well, I see where you're coming from because sometimes, usually I take it back to this. Usually when, at least back in the day, we're drinking beer, it's like, like Bud Light or Miller or something, and you're not gonna have some dairy and a hot outside because it's dairy and you're already hot, So I feel like this is different because the beers you're drinking equal to 5 of those beers, and it's just different.
Yeah,
but really good.
So much more flavor though.
So much more flavor. Well, that is good together.
These are flavorful beers, like that. I mean,
Right.
like I said, I don't think Budweiser. Can you pair ice cream with Budweiser?
No.
So then, I don't feel.
Well,
weird
you can
not-
get
You can
one
do
of
it like
them
a rice
cheap
pudding.
ice cream sandwiches.
You get a Choco Taco.
Oh, Choco.
And a Budweiser.
Taco.
I would do that. I would go
Yeah.
in hard on that, and then I'd pay for it.
Taco.
I mean, Choco Tacos are
So
amazing.
I'm not like that is actually a legit fire ass fucking like ice cream. Man, them Choco Tacos, bro.
I know,
One day.
right?
Yeah.
So how do you go about choosing what exterior, what cracker
What
that you're
cookie
gonna
goes
choose,
with,
what cookie goes with it? Because just like that shit tastes good as hell.
Y'all
Yeah.
baking these cookies?
We bake all of our cookies. We make all of our own dough, bake all of our cookies, make all the ice cream, make all the flavorings that go in. So
Good ass.
So,
cookie.
like,
that was a good ass cookie by
That was
itself.
made with
Right?
love.
that was made with love.
Yeah.
So we have a cookie graveyard in the kitchen whenever they're cooking. And since I'm not in there all the time, I'll come in and I'll be like, what kind of cookie is that? And they know certain cookies, like if I'm there and they break, that I would really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And
If
just
they
because
save it.
they just know that I'm just like a little kid. I'm so excited. They're like, oh my God, there's this snickerdoodle. It's broken. Please, can I have it?
Also, they sometimes just crack the snickerdoodle and send it to the side.
Well, actually, one time there was not too many, but one was off count. I was like, well, I'll just take that one.
We don't like odd numbers.
No.
Let's just make that one go away.
If you can't nitpick, man, what's the point of knowing the business, man?
Right.
It's just like, I remember our church. We used to get up from church, and it was just like in Swissvale. It was like these. I don't know where this bakery that like used to supply, I guess, the cookies for the school or whatever. But they would always like open up like the little like door slot and like just hand us. It was like these nuns or whatever. You know what I mean? Like that like had
That
this
sounds amazing.
bakery or whatever, and like they would just like only on Sundays like they would just like open up the slot and then just like hand us like these warm ass fresh fucking cookies. Oh my god,
Warm cookies are the best. In high school, they used to sell them. It was like some Otis Spunkmeyer or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
the
they used to, they,
Spunkmeyers?
but they were
them Spunkmeyers.
they were like fresh in like high school.
Wait, they were
would,
fresh?
They were
We ain't
fresh.
we ain't get no
they
fresh.
were
Wait,
they were
where'd
warm.
You go? Where you grow up?
Texas.
So is that where Otis Spunkmeyer's made?
I have no idea.
Because them Spunkmeyers is up here. They ain't fresh. They come in like packages
know.
and shit. And like
You
when
wasn't
see
gonna get a fresh cookie at your high school anyway.
Yeah, no, it wasn't happening. But I ain't know, because them those Spunkmeyers. I mean, it was Spunkmeyer, so I was like, I don't know if I want to. You know what I mean, like with a name like that, like what the fuck. But like, they are some fire ass shit. But you had fresh Spunkmeyers.
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy as shit.
I mean, they could have been reheated, but they were warm.
Don't ruin your memory.
That's wild. Man.
They were fresh. They've been fresh, so they were fresh. So how long does it take to put this creation together? Like, what's the process time for? Okay, we have an idea for a flavor. We got to start. I don't know how many different variations you put together with cookie and ice cream till you have that finished product. Like, all right, this is what we're going to package and sell.
So sometimes it takes a long time. Like the caramel corn.
Yeah.
So caramel corn and peanuts
is phenomenal.
Caramel corn.
Yeah.
Like candy corn?
No,
No,
it's
like
Cracker
Jacks caramel corn.
It's so good.
All right, I'll probably okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. It
caramel
sounds.
covered
It sounds.
corn. Yeah.
So it's homemade. It's homemade dulce de leche.
Dulce, yeah.
What
Dulce
dulce de
de
leche?
leche.
I have troubles clearly, and it's like we make popcorn and then we steep it in the cream and then we blend it and then we make it like
We strain it.
Strain it.
So there's no kernels.
Yeah.
to
So it's
break your teeth on.
completely smooth, and then it tastes like you're eating Cracker Jacks, but it's in an ice cream
Because
sandwich.
we put swirls of the caramel and then salted peanuts in it. That took
What
a
type
long
of
time.
cookie do you put?
It's
with
a
it?
Shortbread.
shortbread.
Like this, but no bergamot.
No.
So it's like buttery.
Yeah. So you get the little butter and the popcorn.
Yeah.
A little bit of caramel
But that one took months
to actually
because we had to figure out a caramel recipe that would not solidify the second it got cold, because you can't swirl it in if you just put it in and it just hardens and you just got just
So it's
giant.
just all
That's
it's
what
just in the
science
middle.
is.
Yeah.
I know,
Okay,
right?
yeah.
I mean,
So
Science.
it took forever to like get that one down. And then there's some like the black sesame.
Yeah. It was so good.
We went to California a couple years ago and had black sesame ice cream at a sushi restaurant, and the flavor was amazing. The texture was shit.
Horrible. It was disgusting.
It felt like chewing plastic. It was not good, but the flavor
like-
was
yeah.
good. And I was like, we have to do this. So
but like palatable.
Yeah.
but palatable. So I just showed up at the kitchen with black sesame seeds and gave it to our staff, and I was like, do this. And they
So
came
is
back at me with like the most amazing
Thing ever.
ice cream sandwich.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Our staff is phenomenal.
They're so
Yeah.
talented.
So there's a total of 7 of them. And they're just amazing, and they work really hard, and we really couldn't do it without
They
them.
all have
but they are like
Incredible culinary
backgrounds
yeah,
and intuition.
just intuition. Like they
intuition.
just have a good idea of what's going to taste good together. There's a fair amount of like testing. But every year for Christmas, we're obviously a little bit slow in the winter. So we take that time and make like traditional Pittsburgh cookie trays
Is
for
that
all of our
like, would you
people.
put like fries on them or some shit?
No, like
I was thinking it was just gonna be black and yellow ice cream. I was trying to figure out what flavors that was.
like you know around the holidays you see those big like cookie trays of all the different types of little cookies.
Yeah.
They
You know,
probably
the
get sent to your work and stuff.
Yeah, the
and-
little like the little cream
Or like-
tops,
or like
the-
candies.
No, I mean
Thumbprints.
I see what
now,
you're saying.
man. Do you do the drop dips with the peanut
We-
butter?
Oh,
and
yeah.
the chocolate. Like them is my favorite motherfucking Christmas
Buckeyes,
time.
yeah.
Is that what they call? Is that called?
Yeah.
Buckeye? I've been wondering what the fuck a Buckeye is for all these goddamn years.
Some
That's what
in
a Buckeye
Ohio.
is.
It's a champion.
Oh, you're from Ohio, right?
He's from Cleveland.
It's something from Ohio.
He was waiting 178 episodes. He's been waiting for that.
But yeah, so we do like, I don't know, I just tell everybody on the staff, pick 5 cookies that you want to make, that you just want to try, and they just test tons and tons of recipes, and the result is little care packages for all of our
stores and vendors and places that sell our ice cream.
And then through that process, that's a bunch of R&D for us, and we've come up with a handful of cookies that are really good through that process. And one of them was the Tahini chocolate chunk cookie. Tahini. So it's like ground sesame seeds. It's in a lot of Middle Eastern stuff, like
but it's
hummus
phenomenal.
Has tahini in it.
No, I believe you.
Yeah.
It's on the black. It's paired with the black sesame ice cream.
Yeah. So it's like white. Okay. It's like white sesame seeds and black sesame seeds together.
We're definitely bringing that to Fresh Fest.
So you how many, I guess, different, like, how often are you putting out new flavors, and is the inspiration generally just, I was out, I tried something, and okay, all right, I was out and I tried something and it was delicious, let's make it?
Yeah, there's that. There's
That's
a lot
awesome.
of travel.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be enjoying several beverages of the adult kind and talking
No, we're
with
craft beer
friends.
podcast. You can say
so
craft.
we're drinking a lot, and we'll be talking to people, and they're like, "Oh man, I had this thing. It was so good." And I'm like, "Ooh, you know what would be really good with that is blah blah blah." And they're like, "Ooh, you know what would be awesome is this cookie." And it just kind of, we riff off friends and family and random strangers that we meet at bars, because that happens.
Hey, man, that's
Sometimes
that's how the
stranger.
creative process,
Right?
man. When it hits you, it hits you.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
like, how many people fucking coming to me like, you should use this one, and I'm not using any of them motherfuckers. But then somebody will just say some random shit. I'm like, you know what? I might actually use that one.
Right?
Yeah.
Well,
No,
typically in our business, we won't use the joke you told, but I'll tell the story of you
The
telling me the
experience.
joke.
Yeah.
Right?
I'll definitely do it. So
That's the
you
comedy
made it.
version of, you know what you should do.
Well,
So, what is the next pairing that we got? Because that shit was fucking phenomenal. Like, now I'm in. Now I'm like, I'm all the way in.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't realize this would happen consistently throughout this cast. And we've been talking
We've been
too
talking
fucking
so
much.
long that
We've been talking too much. Like,
you
shut
guys
up,
are
man.
too
Let's get to this
interesting.
ice
Stop
cream
being
and beer.
interesting.
Well, no, I will say this, and I mean this wholeheartedly. Like, just looking at your story, listening to you two, like, this is the positive. You guys are poster children for why small business works. Not just, it's enhanced your relationship. You've been able to, with your pairings and with your travel, like, you travel, that's not even just on the personal, I want to get away and do a vacation. That could, lead back to your business. You have a great relationship with your staff, and you give them the freedom to create. And so what I've learned, on this podcast and in my personal life, just dealing with small businesses, is like, a lot of people like working for small businesses because the freedoms are there. Now, sometimes the small business can't provide, the benefits and things like that, but that mental clarity that you provided with, that happiness with being able to wake up and go to work and really be invested in your work, that's something to be provided to a community. Like, so I just listening to your story, like, it's amazing. Like, I really, and then the product obviously doesn't take away from it. Like, you got this great product that comes from it. You partner with a great industry. You got your own lane, because I don't know of any other. Who do you have competitors? I guess.
Is ice cream beer pairing a thing that's happening anywhere else in the country? Like, is anybody?
I don't really
hopped on
know.
that?
I'm sure there is.
I'm sure there is. I'm sure we're not like the first to do it. But I don't really.
I don't want to speak competition into existence.
No.
Like, if
No,
nobody knows, nobody.
I mean, I'm sure there's. I just don't know.
But yeah, to get back to what you're saying about small business, there are small business and being able to give our employees freedom. We hired people because they're super smart and better at things than we are.
Know your lane.
So I just let them be creative, because they are creative people. And if you stifle that, first of all, you're going to have high turnover.
Right.
And second of all, you're going to have shitty product at the end because they don't care. Right. And our staff looks at every single one of these as a personal signature. They know what they're making. People know that they work there, and they know that when someone tries something, they're going to think of them.
And they're proud of it.
You know, like
right. And a lot of people don't get that with work. They're proud of what they've been able to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Their work product is important, you know? And it's tangible. It's not like a Word document.
That's the thing about sales or whatever. Everybody's like, you know, like, oh, you should be a salesman or whatever. And it's like, I mean, like, yeah, like I can sell anything or whatever, but it's like, you know, do you believe in it? You know what I mean? Like, there's very few things I believe in. You see what I'm saying? And then, like, you know, and like I avoided sales for so long because I just didn't want to like do that. But like, honestly, a lot of what we do now in comedy is sales. Like, we're selling tickets, we're selling this, we're selling.
But
we're selling ourselves, but we believe in the product. So it's like it's a completely. It doesn't feel like the sales world that I was in,
right?
Even though it's, you know, similar. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean, I came from public relations. Like, I literally cold called all day long and sold shit that I may or may not have cared about. And we've received an amazing amount of really great press as Leonas, and I haven't had to call one time.
Isn't cold calling the worst?
It's the worst. I still even the words cold call make me flop sweat. I did it for like 15 years, and I'm just like, I still am terrified of picking
even
up the
if
phone.
you're great at cold calling, you'd never get comfortable calling a stranger and say, hey, look, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take up a bit of your time. I'm going to disguise this as I'm interested in who you are and what you're into, but what I'm really trying to do is I have a product in mind that I think you're eligible for. I don't know if it will add any value to your life, but you could get it.
Yeah.
I would like to part you with your money.
Yeah.
Just a hot second.
Yeah, I mean, I do appreciate that about, like, I mean, with this endeavor, Drinking Partners or whatever, is like, you know, just allowing like the opportunities to come, I mean, organically, and putting like the time and effort into the quality. I mean, granted, you know, it's not if you build it, they will come. It takes a whole lot of like screaming from the rooftops, like, hey, we're here or whatever. But like, you know, it's avoided, you know, the promotion side of things, and like, I mean, the quality of production, whatever, has avoided, like, we've been able to avoid the cold calling side of things, where we're just hitting up breweries like, hey, so we're a couple of guys and we got a podcast. Like, you know what I mean? Like, because everybody got a fucking podcast. Like, and that's what, like, I mean, that's what I love about like Brew Gentlemen or whatever, like, and Hitchhiker and Full Pint or whatever. Like, they kind of like legitimize us in a bit, and it was like we get like most of our business is reference, like, I mean, word of mouth. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that's the thing, is if you have a quality product, then that word of mouth starts to build. You know what I mean? And then you get people just like, yo, these motherfuckers. You know what I mean? And then it eliminates the need for as much cold calling. I mean, when you got cold ass fucking.
Let's dig in, because ice cream is ephemeral. And
we're drinking the Hitchhikers, the Shakes.
The Shakes.
Their,
this is probably the best coffee porter.
Oh, the Shakes.
It's a coffee porter, right? I believe.
Yep.
It's delicious, and then we're pairing it with our coffee ice cream on Snickerdoodle cookie.
Your coffee ice cream.
Yes.
Snickerdoodle.
So it kind of tastes like a cinnamon sugar donut dipped in a latte.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
Cinnamon sugar donut dipped in a latte.
Yeah.
God damn.
So we use coffee from Commonplace. Sorry, mouth is full.
Sorry.
From Commonplace Coffee, which is a local roaster, and this is a Papua New Guinea bean, and we grind it real coarse and steep it in the cream for a couple of days, so it does impart a good amount of flavor as well as some caffeine. So this is not one that's suitable for children.
Well, it is, but
unless it's someone else's child.
But yeah, you might want to just be like, here, take this and eat it, and I'll see you later.
This is appropriate for aunties. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That are babysitting.
Yep.
Like,
Oh yeah, or if it's earlier in the day.
Well, this has caffeine in it.
Oh yeah.
So this is now my new breakfast. This is happening.
and you wash it down with some of this yum yum.
I don't know if I can see. That's the thing. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because I feel like at work I could probably have like one adult beverage and I still be within policy.
Yeah.
But, you know, in business, like a lot of places, you can have an adult beverage on the lunch. Like if you take a business client out to lunch, I feel like if I could wake up with this Hitchhiker coffee.
I mean, it is low. It's low
Leona's
enough ABV.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like, what is this? Like a 5 something?
I don't believe so. I believe it's a little higher than that, but I'm not 100% sure.
It might be. I mean, but
I just have to say, be completely honest with you guys. We figured that this would work, but we had never tried it. Holy shit, does it work?
Man, well, that's because like the coffee, I would imagine is cold pressed, so it doesn't have that like bitterness or whatever to it. You know what I mean, like that. Like,
Our coffee.
Oh well, the hitchhiker.
Yeah,
I mean, so like it doesn't like offend you, like going from straight sweet to that like huge bitterness. You know what I mean, on the end, it's like
that's real smooth.
Yeah. Oh.
When really, I feel like the sweetest thing is just the cookie. Because of cinnamon sugar. Because the ice cream is not just like super smooth with like coffee and goes great with the shakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, I was gonna say because I just as I was tasting, I just had a little bit of cookie left, and I'm like, I could just dip this cookie in the beer.
Oh, see, that would be great.
Like, no, don't take my ideas.
We'll credit you every time we don't. We'll be like, I said to do this.
Oh, okay, that's cool. I like that.
Praise it. Praise it.
You're gonna start something there. now you've set the bar to where now I expect these sort of things to happen with people. I expect to affect people's lives, and they utter the phrase "praise Ed." Just this is how I operate. No,
God damn, that is good. That is fucking good. Yeah. And then you wash it down with beer. This was crazy, man. I'm eating fucking desserts and washing it down with beer. I usually keep my fucking desserts and my beers completely separated. I got dessert time, I got beer time. That's just, you know what I mean? They have not crossed paths until today.
Well, do you have desserts for breakfast? Because we had pie for breakfast this morning.
Yeah, I usually don't drink for breakfast. That's not
Unless it's brunch.
It's Sunday, I might drink for breakfast. And Saturday, Sunday, I might.
I mean, isn't it called brunch?
And it's socially acceptable.
Yeah. Well, that's not breakfast. That's brunch.
Oh, well, if you don't eat before it, it's breakfast.
Right, if it's your first meal of the day, it's breakfast.
I broke the fast that I was on from the night before.
Or 1 a.m. I
guess.
I was about to say, because I mean, I fasted in the middle of the day, so that 1 a.m. meal might be breakfast. Like this. You know what I mean? Oh, that is fucking delicious. And like I said, it just washes down. So we got another pairing coming up.
We do have two more.
We got two. Well, then let's go and get through it.
Are you all approached with these pairings or
no? So I knew drinking podcasts, craft beer. It was like, and I know all the beer or most of the breweries that we work with have been on. Or you guys talked about. And so I was like, I wanted to get beers from breweries that sell our ice cream and that we love and pair them with ice cream sandwiches. So we bought the beers first, and then I was like, well, I had an idea, but still.
Then we went
into the walk-in freezer, which is like.
So wait, you didn't make these sandwiches for the beers?
No, these are sandwiches.
You just happened to grab some beers and then paired them with the.
Yeah.
So wow,
y'all just got it on
You should
deck.
get like a Cicerone certificate. Is that what you say?
A Cicerone?
Cicerone, whatever. I see it on the walls at breweries. We should get one for ice cream beer.
Yeah.
Y'all should probably,
these are pairing very well. I thought these were made specifically.
Yeah, I honestly thought
beers,
these were collaborations and shit. Like the tangerine.
It wasn't paired.
That's fucking
planned.
crazy.
Yeah.
You happen to just have some tangerine ass ice cream that went with this tangerine ass beer,
That's
and
why you gotta invest in small business because they just happen to have shit. These larger companies don't just happen to have shit. They make certain shit. Like, they don't just happen to. Like you don't go to Budweiser, they just happen to have.
You're not even going to influence them. You're not going to put a ticket in the suggestion jar and get anything from that, and just be like, all right, fuck off. Like how many millions do you have to back the suggestion? But like local, I mean, you can actually have a conversation with people and meet them and be like, hey, did you think about this? And it actually becomes a thing.
Or they like the things you like, and they make things that are similar to the shit you like, and then all of a sudden you have a pairing of a tangerine ice cream sandwich and a tangerine brew.
Yeah, coffee, beer,
have you had like a Brew Gentleman's cucumber wheat? It's the garden party.
I haven't had the garden party.
So it's phenomenal, right? Yeah. Well, we had that years ago, and we did a pairing with them, and that's how we made our cucumber ice cream.
Yeah,
Okay.
cucumber ice cream.
Yeah, and it's so good because
Yeah.
it's so refreshing. You know, when it's like so fucking hot outside.
That's what everything about cucumbers is refreshing. Like,
Ain't
it's
it though?
yeah, I mean, like it don't
Don't
matter
they just
what
put
you do.
cucumbers in water and did some like sedity places just give you waters with
Yeah,
cucumbers?
there's cucumber, waters and shit like that. You put them on your eyes to refresh your eyes.
You've done that? Hold on, because I'm
learning.
learning so much about day this weekend. So have you slept with cucumbers on your
I
eyes?
have not slept with cucumber. I just know that I've watched enough 80s movies to.
Well, no, I know that you can do it. I could probably use that because I get bags under my eyes.
Yeah,
That's just.
I usually just drink Gatorade and like
It's very nice and refreshing to have cucumbers. Actually, I mean, I'm not that kind of
You put
person.
them on your eyes. You
Yeah,
do the eye cucumber
yeah.
thing. Or
I've
whatever.
even had a cucumber spray, and it was like, yeah, that's nice. Like you like that's stupid, right? But then
But I
I
mean, that
did
makes
it,
sense. It
and then I
sounds
was
like
like,
refreshing. Like,
right?
yeah, I mean,
but you don't
How do
really.
you like how and when do you apply it? Like, is it something that when you're in the morning you just spray your face, or is it throughout the day if it's warm?
Yeah,
I
you're
feel
like
like it's
driving
in
in
the
the
morning.
car and you're just like, fuck it.
That would be nice to have like a spritz of like cucumber juice, I guess, in the
Yeah.
car spraying
You
you.
just
Maybe.
at Kennywood, it's hot as fuck.
Yeah,
got a
you got a
cucumber
pocket, you got a pocket spray.
Instead of the log jammer, they're gonna have a cucumber spray for you.
Hey, you got that cuke on you? Yeah, I got it. Here you
You
go.
got
bro.
chapstick, cucumber spray. Like, yeah.
So with this cucumber ice cream, it does. So like the type of
Is this
fruit
what we're
or the
about to
type
pull
of
out
ingredient,
now?
does it?
No, we're gonna do the roundabout.
roundabout,
Yeah.
man. If y'all
Does that affect the consistency though? Like
I'm sorry,
because
say
it's
it
a
again.
cucumber ice cream, does that affect the
No,
texture?
no, it was super smooth, and we actually put a little orange blossom water in it, which goes really well with the cucumber. So it tastes
Orange
super.
blossom water.
Yeah,
That is
sounds like very like
fruity tutti.
floral and
Yes.
like effervescent in a sense. Like,
was,
you know what
yeah.
I mean,
This all just sounds like shit you can only get in California.
yeah, that definitely
Like the
sounds
weather
like
here in
something-
Pittsburgh doesn't support orange blossom water.
Nah, not at all. The water doesn't. The water doesn't.
Well, nah, the water here, yeah.
Yeah, nah. You don't want to. You don't want to put orange blossoms in our water. You're just wasting oranges and blossoms.
Yeah. So
this next. Go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, the next one is our raspberry ice cream sandwich, and it's also on a snickerdoodle, so it's the same cookie that we just had.
Raspberry. Shout out to Roundabout. Shout out to C. Yo, we need to get Steve on this podcast. I've been trying to get this dude on this podcast for a couple of years now.
He's like the Yeti. He's very
like
elusive.
the brewer's brewer. Like
He
that's
is.
like
Yeah.
I mean he's like
He's a mad genius.
yeah, he is like a Yeti. Like, yeah, I mean, like you see him. Like, I literally saw him once at that fundraiser at Lorelei we were at, and he was like dropping off a keg or whatever, and he had a Roundabout shirt on. He was, he had a joke or whatever, and we were like filming a podcast, with a podcast with Brian Sykes. Shout out to Sykes, but like. I got to talking. I was like, I looked at. I was like, yeah, Roundabout, man, they make some good shit over there, man. I'm like, I've been waiting to meet Steve. He was like, that was him. I'm like, what the?
Like, he got a mystique.
Yeah, like
That's dope. He got a mystique. Like, that was him. He was here? What? That was
Wait,
And he's
where?
a big
What do you
dude
have
too.
on?
He's like real tall.
Yeah, I swear I thought he was like this like frail, like glasses, old like white cap guy that just
you
was
done
like in his-
stereotyped the brewers.
Yeah, like he was. He's just a normal big white dude.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
No
I
beard
mean,
though.
No beard,
Sets
no.
him up.
No, he doesn't make a. Yeah, he doesn't have a beard. That's why I thought he just worked for the brewery. I didn't think he was the brewer. Yeah,
Oh,
I mean,
you don't have a beard? You're
he
not
didn't
a
have.
brewer?
Yeah, he didn't have. He had a T-shirt, no
Stereotyping.
beard. I was like, oh well, he just it's
Really,
nice work
though,
he's doing
it's
for
like-
Roundabout there.
It's like a white
oh,
dude
look at
with
the
a
delivery
beard.
boy. Tipped him $1.
I'm gonna let him know he's doing a good job. Man.
Well, their cream ale at Lorelei was really good.
Oh
It was
my
actually our
gosh.
first time to have that one in there,
Yeah.
and which is funny because we're there most weeks,
Roundabout, yeah.
Yeah.
most days.
It's just the
Yeah.
closest to our house.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you happen to strike up a conversation about being on a podcast,
If he has the time, if he's on a run to drop some shit off, we can interview him in the car.
Yeah,
we mobile.
Well,
hey, we're mobile. We'll show up like the paparazzi. Like, hey, can we get a word? Can we get a word, Steve?
what's funny though is he's at the they have a new pop-up garden out on the river. Well, it's
What
by
is
the
a
river.
pop-up garden?
So
Like a
it's
beer
like
garden.
a beer garden, like a pop-up beer garden.
How do you pop up a beer garden?
They
It's
rented,
temporary.
yeah, it's temporary. They rented like this area and put up tents and have porta potties, and it's close to. It's like on the. Yeah, it's phenomenal. It's
Where?
like Hootie was there last night with ribs.
Shout out to Hootie. Shout out
was
to
there with
Hootie.
ribs.
The best smoked macaroni and cheese in the goddamn game.
I know.
Also the most elusive motherfucker. Yo, Cootie, call me.
No, he's never gonna call you.
He's never Yo, I was wondering with Asa. I was like, yo, man, hey, you see who? He's like, man, I only talk to Hootie when I can touch him. Like,
yep, that's exactly it.
Hootie is the most elusive man in the bit. I went to high school with Hootie.
Did you?
I went to high school with Hootie, and Hootie used to hate Hootie. He's like, man, stop calling me Hootie. And then at some point, he opened up a fucking whole ass barbecue shop called Hootie's Blowfish. And I was like, one, I ain't know you like the name Hootie, and two, I ain't know when the fuck you been barbecuing, bro. Like,
it's so good, and he has the best ribs. I mean, I know there are really good ribs out there, but when he has ribs, I'm like, and we were busy last night, and I missed it, and I was like, damn.
Yeah,
they're so good. But so really fast before this melts, because it's raspberry ice cream on a snickerdoodle cookie, and it's paired with Roundabout's raspberry Berliner Weiss, and it's probably one of our favorites.
And we actually the same raspberries that are in the ice cream, we got extra for Steve to put in the beer.
Yeah.
So it's the same raspberries.
Wait, so this was
raspberries from the beer.
Yeah. We July 15th was our joint 5-year anniversary party. So we both been in business for 5 years. So we had a party together at Roundabout, and we had a special ice cream sandwich with the birthday cake ice cream sandwich. And then they made this raspberry Berliner Weiss, which is like a 7-barrel batch or something. It's crazy.
It was a good amount.
It was like 55 pounds of raspberries, and they were delicious.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So please help yourself.
We in here on the exclusive tip.
Right?
Wait, what kind of cookie is this?
This is a snickerdoodle again.
Snickerdoodle.
Which a lot of people don't really know what it is. So it's like a cinnamon sugar cookie that's almost like aerated, you know?
Well, it has extra leavening in it. It has cream of tartar, which is another a different kind of leavening, which gives it that kind of crunchy.
I was about to say, it tastes like a sugar cookie, but it's hard and cinnamon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we actually put, usually it's just cinnamon sugar. And we do cinnamon sugar and Chinese 5-spice in it.
Chinese 5-spice.
Yeah, it just gives it a little extra kick.
Oh, yeah, I mean, everybody wants all of it in your mouth.
Yeah, it's tasty.
I would pause that, but I'm too much enjoying this right now.
That is, and you know what I love, and I keep being surprised, is how fucking good it tastes when you drink that goddamn beer afterwards, man.
Right after.
I'm still not used to having desserts and beer. Like, they just are two different fucking worlds, and they are colliding right now. And I
think what I like is, especially with the snickerdoodle, what'll happen is you'll bite it, you'll chew it or whatever, and then right when you're about to take the sip, this aftertaste will activate, and then it fucking happens with the beer, and then because of the pairing,
it's a nice mingle. Yeah, I mean, like there's no.
It's like sweet tart, sweet tart.
Yeah,
keeps
like
going.
I mean, usually especially with eating sweet things or whatever, when you like with beer, you get like this weird ass mingle of taste that it shocks your tongue, and it's just nasty as fuck. Like but this just pairs like you said, it pairs well, just flows over, and it's like I'm supposed to be here. It's cool. I mean,
a lot of ice cream is really sweet. And we try to keep ours as So you have to have enough sugar in it, otherwise you can't eat it because it's hard as a rock. So sugar is part of the science of it. And sugar is like an antifreeze. So is alcohol. So if you have too much sugar in your ice cream, it won't freeze properly. If you don't have enough sugar in your ice cream, it'll freeze so hard that you won't be able to eat it.
So very delicate.
Yeah. So for those at home, if you want to make ice cream, just use a shot of vodka.
Then you can eat it out of the freezer instead of letting it sit for like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So any vodka infused ice cream sandwiches?
We actually do. We did. We use Maggie's farm rum.
Like a rum.
Yeah.
We do a banana rum on a coconut shortbread.
We do a rum raisin for the holidays,
which is phenomenal if you like raisins, because it's a raisin.
Oh, their
so
synergy
good.
is really kicking in. Are you seeing how they're answering these questions?
Yeah.
Really kicking in.
Have you done? So you gotta do the what's the Puerto Rican
horchata?
Or no, not the horchata. The it's like the Puerto Rican. It's like rum. I remember.
See, the only other Puerto Rican.
Remember, Cafe con Leche came
flan.
in.
I was gonna say flan.
Cafe con Leche.
Coquito,
yeah, like a coquito.
I know coquito.
That's a good idea.
That sounds really good.
Yeah, like that coquito.
Actually, that would, y'all could. Yeah,
Yeah,
y'all could probably pull that
talking
off.
about rum and
like
ice
write it
cream and
We do a
coquito,
whiskey
and then
chocolate
it's
too.
Ooh,
Whiskey chocolate.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, we usually bring that out in March.
whiskey.
Yeah.
Ooh, whiskey. Yeah.
Whiskey chocolate. And
Now,
it's
see,
weird.
I can do. What did I say? Whiskey and ice cream, or whatever. Like a whiskey infused ice cream. Would
Yeah.
be fucking. Oh.
Well, and you can't actually really taste the whiskey very much because the fat kind of covers it up. Same with the rum, but you can tell if it's not there. It tastes very different because it is there.
Well, I know. Sweet Little Eats. They did the Henny ice cream.
Yeah.
And that was like, and then it was like you got all of the great things about Henny and none of the like the bullshit. And like I was like, oh shit, because I was like, Henny, I used to fuck want to eat some Henny ice cream. The fuck is this shit?
Well, so we talked to the guy at Hitchhiker. I can't remember his name. He's a really nice guy behind the bar. Glasses,
Mikey.
hat, Mikey.
Mike?
Yeah, Mike or Mikey is really nice. And he's like, oh, he's talking about you guys and how you guys love Hennessy. And we're like, yeah, we know. And we didn't have time to get you any, but we totally paired an ice cream sandwich with it.
Boom.
In our head.
I'm in this industry. Once you start pairing with Henny, you got that's
Right,
a
like-
praise Ed. That's a
That's
praise
a
Ed
praise
moment.
Ed.
That's a praise Ed moment.
I mean, really, isn't that a praise Leona's? Like, I'm just like,
Well, it is, but I brought Henny to the crack it.
we shout out the Trub, the Trub. I
Yeah,
never knew.
Trub,
I mean,
Trub, I don't
but
know.
they're Bill Oates. He's bringing a cognac barrel aged old ale.
Oh my
sounds-
God.
We
that
call it
sounds
Bridge
amazing.
the Gap. It is one of my favorite fucking Bill Oates.
What day?
Is one of the most talented fucking brewers we've had on this podcast. The only reason he doesn't brew is because apparently he has a great fucking phenomenal day job. I have no, like, literally he brought shit in here and
Insurance.
I was like, I have no idea why, like, you're not, like, he made, like, it was a cognac barrel aged old ale. It's like, it sits at 10%. It's fucking
Man.
smooth. The shit, it's delicious. It gets all that, I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he'll be at the fest pouring that. So I don't know how much time you guys got or what you're like, but I mean, if you wanted to pair it with a cognac bear.
Well, here's what you're going to see me off of, that yak all day at the fest. And if Mike make me one of them Fresh Fest tank tops like I asked him to, you might see my nipples that day. Because when you off that yak, all I got to do is be coherent for the VIP session. The rest is like, just don't drop shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's about it.
And you can tape that to your hands.
Yeah.
that yak.
That yak.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be dope. I actually bought a pair of Jordans for that fucking thing. I ain't never bought a pair of
shit, you done- look
I
at-
ain't never bought a pair of Jordans in my motherfucking life,
Look at
man.
this
say Jordans.
dude.
Jordan, yeah, I've
He done
never-
got all sedity.
I
for it.
just, I don't know. It's a once in a lifetime.
You know what?
thing,
It's a historic situation that's going to be happening, and we are so excited to be a part
Oh,
of it.
absolutely.
Man, we're
Yeah,
excited
I mean-
to have you. I mean, we were like, well, we gotta have like something sweet, and it just there was no other. Like,
And it's August. It'll be hot. It'll be perfect ice cream weather.
Oh wait, and I can't wait. We've been trying to tell everybody we know about it. Katie wants to give random people flyers.
I almost like accosted two dudes at Hitchhiker today.
like, you guys
with
are gonna
flyers.
be there, right? I was like, no, we gotta go. We
she's
don't have
like-
time for that.
She's like, please don't make a scene.
I was like, they see the flyers.
They
It's
got
fine.
the street team out.
I
mean,
was like,
Hey,
they should be
man.
out on the tables.
This industry so supportive. Like it's
Right.
crazy how supportive this industry.
yeah, no, I mean the community has been ridiculous like that. I don't know. It's weird because we didn't expect it. We just like, I mean, and I'm sure like, getting into it, getting into business, especially like in the fields that you were in, like you both had like, lucrative day jobs. So how like little support people have just for any fucking thing. Yeah. I mean, like if you work in the same department, it's hard for a motherfucker to get you copies of some shit.
Right.
It's hard for you to
Oh my
get an
God.
email off of a motherfucker, let alone a whole industry that's like looking out for you, trying to like support something that you're doing that's not going to directly like influence their pockets. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Well, but I disagree with that because I feel like this festival is really going to open up the craft beer scene in Pittsburgh to a more diverse crowd.
yeah,
It's an open invitation.
I think in the long run, you know what I mean, like it
gotta start
will or
somewhere.
whatever, you know what I mean, but like it's one thing to be like, hey, come here and I'll pay you. That's that's really easy. Boom. I mean, like, it's another thing to say, hey, I got this vision, this idea, this, yeah, I mean, and like, hey, if you invest in this with like sweat equity, then it'll eventually be something that's like lucrative for you as well. And that's a whole, and that's what this whole, like, you know, when you start talking about like supporting local and these local businesses or whatever, like, I mean, with Leona's, when you first started, I would imagine that, like, yeah, I mean, you had to like be, you know, you had to tell people like, yo, we're gonna start our own business. You had your friends and family, and you had to go out there and be like, hey, we got this ice cream, like, you know, and then with the breweries or whatever, and having to convince breweries that like ice cream is a good pairing even or whatever. Yeah, I mean, like, but then like getting into the community and having that support that you, again, I doubt you got the same support from Kellogg's. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, right. Yeah, right. Agreed.
like
That is the truth.
so like, I mean, that's what's crazy is that, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, what we all do supports each other and whatnot. Like, yeah, I mean, like when Leona's booms and like, yeah, I mean, like when Drinking Partners booms, when Hitchhiker booms, like, I mean, the industry itself, like, I mean, but like, it's hard to like, yeah, I mean, like it's like a lot, especially in the arts like scene or whatever. A lot of people like see success from somebody else as a detriment to themselves.
Right.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
I never understood that. I was like, because when we started in the small business community, there's so many in Pittsburgh, and everybody was just nothing but supportive, you know. And I think that's also a true testament to Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Because while it is a very big city, it's a very small town.
Oh, it's a village.
Like,
it's a big town. Like it's a bunch of towns like pasted together.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean,
it was like how many different neighborhoods?
90.
Over 90. Yeah.
90
like
neighborhoods.
I mean, because what neighborhood do you live in? That's like the first question anybody asks.
Yeah.
Where
like,
do you
yeah,
live?
What part?
Yeah.
I mean, like where?
What street?
Zip codes cover like 3 different neighborhoods.
Right.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, our friendship zip code when we rented was like Shady Side, and except for our block. And I was like, and so
don't nobody know that fucking. I lived in that fucking
Right?
Friendship Bermuda Triangle, Friendship,
It is like a
Shady
Bermuda
Side,
Triangle.
East Liberty, Bloomfield. Like you don't know where any of those
Right.
motherfuckers.
Oh,
I
no.
don't know exactly what friendship is.
It's
and
like
what
5
is
blocks.
Not
Yeah, what is
friendship.
friendship? I still
don't
don't
know.
exactly know.
I think it's
know
like a park.
Sharp's Edge claims to be in Friendship.
Yeah.
But I know
It's
if
on
you
the
cross
edge.
the street, that's motherfucking East Lib. Like,
Yes.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
And if you cross another motherfucking street, you probably in Shady Side.
Now you're
like,
in Larimer.
Yeah.
One more street over is Larimer. It all comes to a head right there. Yeah.
Yeah, like even where we are now, 15210, like that covers Carrick, Mount Oliver, Allentown, several Bonaire, all
I
types
don't
of
even, and
neighborhoods.
I don't even give like towns anymore when I give addresses. I just give the street and then I give the zip code. And I hate a motherfucker to be like, yeah, I mean, they'd be like, well, what town? It don't fucking matter. Like it don't. I could put fucking Bangladesh on this bitch as long as I put the zip code on
Right.
it. It's gonna go there.
Right.
Because like I lived in Braddock my whole life. I mean, like growing up in Braddock,
Yeah.
but I used to always like as a kid, I would like put like letters. Like Pittsburgh, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And it would still get to me because
Oh,
the zip
yep.
code was right. So
Right.
I was a kid. I didn't know Braddock wasn't technically Pittsburgh, but they didn't give a fuck. Like,
Are you supposed to put Braddock?
I grew up in Braddock, yeah.
No, but I mean on the like label. Are
I
you
was-
supposed
no,
to? Were you supposed to put Braddock?
Well, I lived in Braddock, so it's
I'm just
not
curious.
Pittsburgh.
Right.
So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
you should
You're
put
right.
Braddock. Yeah, I mean, like, but I put Pittsburgh 15104.
Yeah.
I mean, and it still came to
Wilkinsburg's the same.
Yeah.
Wilkinsburg. Yeah,
Yeah,
Wilkinsburg
Wilkinsburg
is
is not
yeah.
Pittsburgh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not Pittsburgh.
No,
One
yeah.
five 221.
But think about 15221.
That's
you
what I
could
said.
be in you could be in Homewood Brushton in
Right.
15221. You
Yeah.
can be anywhere.
It
like,
crosses boroughs. Yeah.
yeah, it's you know what? Now I think about it, like in Cleveland, it's not like that. Like I grew up in Cleveland Heights. That was our 44. I don't even remember our fucking zip code. We were either 121 or 112. I think we're 121, and 112 was East Cleveland. I always got that mixed up because I lived in Cleveland Heights technically, but East Cleveland was where I was in the East Cleveland School District. So one was 121, one was 112, and I didn't mail letters back in the day, so I didn't know what the fuck.
We had the pen pals. I don't know. You may be a little younger. Yeah. I mean,
No, I
like,
didn't have pen
We
pals.
had pen pals. That was
Yeah,
a
I
thing.
wasn't
Like,
writing
we
people
had,
in
like-
prison.
Nobody ever wrote me back.
Yeah.
I'm not writing
We
anyone in
had
prison
a
in
pen pal
elementary school.
initiative, so we had some like friends in like Texas and like
jeez.
Wyoming or
Are
some
you
shit
sure?
like that. Yeah, I'm not even sure.
Wasn't your
Yeah,
teacher
like,
writing
I was in
letters back? Are you
second grade,
sure?
like it'd be like, oh,
Those aren't
these
your friends. You're not friends with this person. You read
when-
one-page letter once a month.
But that's when
Not like
motherfuckers
friends.
was still trying to teach you the Dewey Decimal System because they were
Right.
like, you're gonna need to know this shit.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to know cursive. You're gonna need to know how to write letters on
Writing in
paper.
Cursive is gone.
On paper?
Cursive is gone. Oh, it's gone. They don't even teach it in school.
So is the Dewey Decimal System. You know how many
I
motherfucking
don't even
libraries?
think I ever learned that.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's how much of a cusp like the generations were. Like just a couple years later, they figured out like, man, nigga, you don't need microfiche. Like,
Oh man, microfiche. You'd be looking.
yeah,
I love that
like
thing.
they gave us classes on that because they thought it was going to be useful.
Right.
Yeah.
You know that shit's still not digitized though. You still got to use that.
Yeah, no, a real journalist. Yeah,
Yeah.
they're going to dig in the crates. Like, I mean, but. So
All right.
do you guys, we have
We
another?
have one last pairing.
Well,
Yes.
let's do that.
All right,
damn
so-
thing.
Before the ice cream melts.
So we have. Let's see. One second.
Grist House.
Yeah, this is a super pretty can.
Grist House has been like bringing out with very pastel, like
Yeah.
like you want to put that in the basket.
Put the biscuit in the basket.
Actually, let's let them pick Katie.
What is
So
it? What do they call that? The histamine or myosin or whatever the fuck.
Humulene trial.
Humulene.
Yeah, and it's called
Homunculus.
Hippie Science, and it's their I believe it's their double IPA. It's their experimental, and they said it's very tropical, like double IPA. So
Man, shout out to
we're
Grist House.
gonna-
They'll also be down.
we could
at the
do.
fest.
Sorry.
No, yeah.
We do one of two. We have strawberry, our garden strawberry on a shortbread, which is we grew the strawberries in Wilkinsburg, or we could do a toasted coconut on a coconut chocolate chunk.
I want to taste the strawberries that
Yeah,
you
I
grew.
was gonna go strawberry.
Yeah.
Because I was like tropical, could go either way.
Yeah, no, I don't go in there. You said hand grown berries.
Now, are you trying these pairings for the first time
Oh, yeah.
as well?
Oh,
while we're
yeah.
here? Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Oh,
So
yeah.
y'all even- oh shit.
Oh, yeah.
World
Exclusive.
premiere.
The only, I mean, we definitely knew the raspberry would work and the shakes. And I mean, the tangerine with a tangerine, that
Right,
was just
right,
like meant
right.
to be. So this is the first one that we're like, we think this will work. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm
But
sure
I mean,
it'll be
like,
fine.
well, does
But it's all trial and error.
I mean, these have all been good. Like, but does the mouthfeel of the beer like have anything to do with the food pairing?
I don't actually I don't think so, but Katie I think she has an opinion.
She's gonna come through with the science.
Yeah, she's more the science person. I did well, but not that well.
Yeah, no, I
I
kind
quit
of.
on science.
Yeah, chemistry wasn't my strong. So more
Ooh.
physics. Yeah,
Oh, I
the
love
big
physics.
Yeah, I love physics. Because it's the big picture thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like the chemistry. There's too many equations.
Yeah, chemistry is essentially math. I did really well at chemistry actually in high school, and then I tested out of it. You take the AP exam.
Me too.
So I got I got a 4, and so I
Nice.
didn't have to take it in college, and that was the end of me taking sciences.
Yeah, no, I mean,
I took like geography
I'll eat that one.
in college, and I damn near failed
yeah.
because I suck at that.
No, I'm
Can I
terrible
get
at geography. I got an A in chemistry in college or whatever, but like it wasn't something I enjoyed, and it wasn't anything interesting enough to like retain the knowledge of. It was grueling as fuck, like the whole
And
time.
now,
like,
and now
whereas
we're in the
like
craft industry, and
like,
we
yeah.
definitely could have used.
I
could
coulda
have
used some of that.
We could have used all of that.
yeah, I mean,
like,
physics. I love. I like the equations and like the theories and like properties and all that shit like that. Like how the world works in the grand scheme of things. That
party
was easy to retain. But chemistry, man. The only thing I know about chemistry is how soap works. That's really.
See, I actually loved chemistry. I was like Ed here. I took it AP and I tested out of it. It was like super fun. I love it. But I also love physics. And one thing I can. Okay, sorry, melty ice cream. My bad. Go ahead.
Just really quick. So this is the garden strawberry. It is our strawberry ice cream with hunks of strawberries that we grew in our hand grown in Wilkinsburg.
berry.
Marta's gonna be mad.
Shout out to Marita Garrett.
Oh, yeah, she was on Jam.
She's gonna be at the fest with Hot Farm. Yeah, they doing some crazy shit over there.
Yeah, Marta's gonna be mad because
I was about
Marta
to say that
didn't.
shit because this motherfucker don't eat hand like grown fruit. Like he needed to be like touched a few times. He needed stepped on. He needed his fruit stepped on. We had this whole thing with Marta. Shout out to Marta.
Interesting. I think the buttery cookie goes really good with it because it's like Got that real.
See, I think the cookie is almost it's almost, if not more integral to the pairing than the actual ice cream. It almost feels like.
Let's be very clear. Butter makes everything.
How you gonna say? Let's be very clear, and not be clear at all.
It's butter. I fucking love it, butter.
Right. We tested before we started Leona's. We probably tested more cookies than we did ice cream. Yeah. Because we needed to make cookies.
That's the thing. That's the first thing that hits your palate. So like the texture and all that, and like on your tongue.
Yeah.
Well,
if that ain't right, then fuck everything in the middle. You know what I mean?
Well, butter freezes hard as a rock.
So if you put a pound of butter in the freezer, it's going to be like a brick. And we use real butter in all of our cookies. So to be able to figure out a recipe that you can eat out of the freezer and not break your teeth. And have the right cookie to ice cream ratio where you don't bite it and have the ice cream squish out. You know what I mean? So there was a lot of different testing involved in it.
Like years.
That cookie breaks down. Exactly when you need it to.
Yep.
You think it's going like it. There's always that little
moment.
Oh shit!
Wait till you finish the fucking cookie.
That it just breaks right when you need it to. And you're like, oh shit, it's gonna be okay. You know what I mean?
So what's the science of the squish out? Like, how do you? Because they don't. You don't get the squish out of the ice cream as much as you think. With as large as these cookie sandwiches are, like. You don't get where it's falling out all the time.
Yeah, and these have been sitting here for. I mean, you guys.
So one of the things is like, first the cookies are only like about an ounce each. So that really helps because
thin.
They're very thin. But then we put in half a cup of the super premium ice cream, and then so I think the ratio really helps with that. So you get the little kind of break, and then you go through the ice cream as smoothly.
But also,
I think if it was thicker. Yeah, I mean, it might not have the same
trouble.
You know what I mean?
But the ice cream is super dense because we don't put very much air in it. There's about 30 to 40% air, like overrun in the ice cream. So you actually have something to bite through. It's not just air. So the highly aerated ice cream is almost fluffy and doesn't hold its shape. So this is like super dense, and that is the mouthfeel. Like that, the creaminess is not just the high butter fat because it's about 16% butter fat. It's the quantity of air to fat.
Yeah,
so,
I always say it, so it looks like a hockey puck when they're wrapped, and I'm like, you could throw it at somebody and knock them out, and then pick it up and eat it. Not to instill violence, but to just
shit, we in America.
If you're walking,
we in America
from a late night shopping trip at Leona's.
You don't want anybody to steal your ice cream sandwiches.
Yes, so
bust somebody in the head with some ice cream. Like if I hit you in the head with a Leona sandwich, like that's like I kiss you on the cheek.
It's true. It's true. It's true love. True love. Praise it.
Man, that's the last thing.
You were not making any fun of his life.
Don't be mad.
I got to go through another 178 episodes.
No, right, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. See, what I emote love. I emote praise.
Right?
And they spew hatred at you.
They do.
Dude called you. I'm still trying to remember. He typed with his thumb. Lifeless hack. Not at all.
Could be anything.
Well, let me tell you.
A hack is in comedy is just somebody that doesn't do like original jokes and they just kind of like copy other people. So I mean, it was
synonymous with cliche.
Yeah, cliche.
Something you would
and
expect
trite.
to hear.
I mean, just throwing. But again,
you should be like, who's the real hack now?
This is just one of the few that I mean, shit. That for 2 months. It was like a daily occurrence.
That's
2 or 3
insane.
times a day,
But you know
man.
what though? Like if you don't have a troll, you haven't really made it.
Shit, I had 2 months of trolls.
You famous, bro.
And like death threats. Like I mean, hella death threats. Like, and it was crazy because they banned my account. They never told me why or whatever. So then like there were like all these like tweets like, yo, why don't we just go over there and fucking kill him?
That's
so we reported it, right?
Holy shit!
They reported it, and Twitter was like, they sent me a thing back, and I got the all the shit document. They said context matters.
Really?
I'm trying to figure out the
Death
context.
threats have context?
I'm trying to figure out the context in why don't we just go over there and kill him?
Yeah.
That like
I don't know about that. That sounds
well. in today's climate, you can walk back anything.
Yeah, apparently.
Say what I said was
apparently
wouldn't instead of would.
Yeah, what you can't walk back is fuck you Nazis, because when you say fuck you Nazis, that's automatic dismissal from your social medias. So. But shout out to Leona's for all the love here, man. This has been
Thank you for having us.
Absolutely amazing. Like,
yeah, thanks for having us. This is amazing.
Definitely not a talentless duo. I've tasted a lot of talent today. A lot of, just if you guys eyeballed these collabs or these pairings, like that's, y'all got a future in that. Just pairings, and y'all could survive just off of pairings.
Well, do you ever want to pair again? Just let us know.
Yeah, you guys like do you have like events where you invite like brewers out for like pairings, or like is there any way like, because I'm thinking of people can like get their ice cream sandwiches and go to a brewery and get their breweries and drink them or whatever, but like do you ever have any events where like people just come and just have some pairings and some beers?
So we did it a couple times with the Brew Gentleman a couple years ago, and it was really successful.
But they were like ticketed events.
Yeah, ticketed. But what we do now, so we have a pretty long list of
Tell us
breweries
where we can find you.
So we're actually at, I think it's about 10 different breweries around the Pittsburgh area. So we're at Hitchhiker, Sharpsburg, and Mount Lebo.
And
Lebo,
shit beers.
Mount Lebanon. And then we're also at Grist House, Roundabout in Lawrenceville, Spoonwood in Bethel, Rusty Gold out in Canonsburg, Shoe Brew in Zelienople, and Butler Brew Works in Butler, and then both of the Strange Roots. So that would be Millville and Gibsonia.
Nice.
And they're actually probably all of our favorite breweries.
Yeah, and what we try to do when we curate the list of ice cream sandwiches to bring to them for sale is we try to keep in mind what they have on tap.
Yeah.
And say, okay, so this one is going to go really good with that. So we try to tell them ahead of time.
Pseudo pairing.
Yeah, so that they can sell it to their clientele who are like, oh, I don't do ice cream and I don't do dairy and beer, and they're like, wow, these two things pair
so like
really good.
Fuck your whole world up, B.
Yeah.
Right.
For example, at Spoonwood, they did I think it was a matcha rice beer.
Yes.
And we actually we didn't have time to create a sandwich specifically for it, but when we tasted it, we were like, we think this would go beautifully with the black sesame on Tahini salted Tahini chocolate chunk, and it did, and it was like phenomenal.
So good.
And then that enlightens people, like we're like, oh well, that let's try something else, because it's out of their realm.
Yeah.
Because while vanilla is extraordinary and it's the number one flavor, it's actually very exotic. It comes from the seed of an orchid pod.
I know.
I know. But like most people were like, oh, vanilla, which is like one of my favorites. But I'm like, you gotta try something else, especially when you're drinking a porter. Have some, have something else.
Have
that
a
you think,
coconut.
Yeah, or cinnamon on oatmeal lace,
or chocolate, peanut butter with a porter. Oh,
but yeah. Oh my gosh. Anything. I truly believe anything goes with the porter, even fruits, because then you get the chocolatey or the richness from the porter, and then you get the fruit tartness.
Yeah, porter really just you
can drink anything, or stout.
Yeah, because it's kind of like milky in some sense or whatever. Yeah, so it has that kind of like mouthfeel to it, and the way it just washes over your tongue, like it kind of like makes everything cool.
Yeah.
Everything's okay.
I love actually taking stout beers and creating ice cream sandwiches out of them. And we did it we took Roundabout's stout and we cooked it down, and then we put it into ice cream. And it was phenomenal.
You just cooked it into just like a regular ice cream, or
we made it's like a sweet cream, so the beer actually flavors the ice cream.
So y'all just do that randomly just on the side, like, all right, well, for us, we just gonna cook some beer down into some ice cream.
We'll do it for like events or something, but it's nice.
Oh, y'all got that shit at the crib.
We don't have any at the crib.
Two suggestions.
Yes.
The one coquito, I'd love to see out of some kind of something, and then two, like the Mexican chili, like like porters and stouts or whatever. Like, have you worked with any kind of like spicy ice cream? Because I feel like a reduction. Like when I drink a Mexican chili stout, a good one. Nice chocolate. Chili. Whatever. Like I feel like I could like reduce that and throw that that on some meats or whatever, maybe like, marinate
So
or whatever. But then I'm thinking of like, with a reduction thrown into some ice cream or whatever, that might be.
So we actually do. It's one of the ones that I've wanted for years because I like spicy, and I wanted a quote unquote hot chocolate.
Yeah.
So if you see our hot chocolate out there, it's actually spicy chocolate. That's why it's in quotes.
Well, you have a hot
So it's got
chocolate?
cayenne in it, and then we make a pint out of it, and we make homemade marshmallows.
Tiny little
Wait,
marshmallows.
you make marshmallows? You can make. I don't even know how the fuck marshmallows
Everything
are
that goes
made.
in our ice cream.
Well,
is
you
made.
gotta be able to make marshmallows.
I don't know what the
Oh,
fuck a
yeah.
marshmallow is. Like you can make
it's so
marshmallows
good.
at home.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah. It's phenomenal.
The internet will tell you how.
Oh yeah. So it's amazing. So that is our spicy.
And it's
called
got
hot chocolate.
some heat to it.
It's got some heat to it. A little bit of like sweat on your nose. A little bit. It's
Makes
so
you want to
good.
take another bite.
Yeah.
See, I'm about that life.
But
I'm
ain't about the spice life.
I'm about the spice. All that.
I have to just tell you though. Also, Roundabout makes a chili pepper like either pills or something else. They usually do Smoketoberfest in October. You want to talk about? You just like take a sip and you're like, yeah, I just want another sip because it's so good. It's just like a little spicy,
Just a little spicy.
just like oh.
And it hits you, and you're like, I want another sip of
Yeah,
beer.
Yeah.
I want another sip of
that's
beer.
there's a fine line in that chili beer. Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
where, like,
I know it's too much, or you know.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
You got to have a
mean,
light touch. You
No,
gotta
this
have
is
light touch
a
with
very
it.
very good. Like yeah, it's phenomenal.
That is absolutely insane. Shout out to
Shout out to
Mike
Mike
Potter
Potter.
out here. Out here representing black brew culture. Yeah, I mean, just walk in and he gonna knock on the door, try to
going,
sneak
man?
in like we wasn't going. Well, we gonna make a fuss
you
about
going,
the
man?
damn thing. Yeah, I mean, yeah. You over here talking about
Family
fresh
affair in
fresh.
the building.
We got a lot of ice cream for you guys to
we
eat.
got
Mad ice cream out here, mad brews, bruh. Ooh, all right.
Yeah.
Well,
All right.
we didn't mean to interrupt.
Yeah,
you
we-
know what I mean? But we are gonna wrap this up. We got through all the pairings, yeah.
Yeah,
Got to all the
good.
pairings. I think
The
we
rest of
got
the ice
where they
cream
can
is
find
So
them.
we,
Just to eat.
At the
where
breweries.
yeah, where can? Oh, that's your line.
So no, they said where they can find them at what breweries. But if they want to reach out to you for suggestions or just to let you know, like, hey, this shit was good as fuck, how do they
Yeah.
reach you?
So we get a lot of emails at info@leonaspgh.com.
Yeah, and we're also on all the social media like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
So,
hit us up.
Hit
We'd
us
love
up.
to hear feedback because we have a wholesale model and we don't have a storefront. We don't get to hear from our customers very often.
Well,
so when we
know
get
what
to,
that's like.
we just
When
see
you-
them in the wild.
we just see them in the wild.
Yes.
We like wear a t-shirt out. People come and talk to us, which is nice.
Yeah.
And we get to actually like interact with the people, enjoy our ice cream. So, because like ultimately, like both of us get the opportunity to just. We like make people happy, and that's the job, and it's fucking
ain't that
awesome.
dope?
Ain't that fucking
Ain't
It's
it dope?
way better than public relations. No offense to my PR friends, but damn, I got a much better job.
Yeah. No, it's pretty
No, they ain't
amazing.
offended. They jealous.
Yes. And then if you're not into maybe going to a brewery and you want to go somewhere else, just visit our website at leonaspgh.com and you can find a list of all the locations.
Almost 70.
Yeah, almost 70.
You got shipping yet?
We did a little bit of shipping over the winter. We're still dipping our toe into it. It's pretty expensive for
If the price is right, you
For
can get it.
customers,
But
yeah.
yeah.
so we're working on it.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
We're working
Yeah.
on it.
And we're working on new merch and stuff, so stay tuned. Yeah.
Oh my God, there's going to be a situation.
Coming soon.
It's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
I can't wait. We'll tell you off the air.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
We
okay.
ain't gonna get
We
the
gonna
ain't
get some
gonna get the
exclusive-
ain't gonna- yeah.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, Dave, let the people know where they can find it so we can get this exclusive information.
We are Drinking Partners, and if you're looking for us, you can find us on epicastnetwork.com/partnerspod. You can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Libsyn, and Google Play under Drinking Partners. You can find us on IG, Twitter, and Facebook at PartnersPod. You can find us August 11th at freshfestbeerfest.com, man. Wiggle Whiskey, Threadbare Cider House. You can find us August 18th at arcadecomedytheater.com. You can find us August 25th
Yep.
at ComtraTheater.ticketleap.com, man. I want to thank you ladies for coming through. This has been
Thank you so much.
Yeah, well, they stepped on my portion of our closing, but yeah, we want to thank our guests, Krista and Katie, for
We've been
coming
off for a
through,
while.
blessing us with these pairings. thank you all for being a part of Fresh Fest. If you haven't had Leona's, you need to get familiar. If you need to get familiar, come down to Fresh Fest. They'll get you familiar. Great ice cream, great story. I really love your story. I really love how you guys came to be. I really love how you support the community and how
I love the fact that we got in on y'all early. Yeah, I mean,
we did get. We are kind of like first movers.
adopters.
Yeah,
We are kind of first movers. Although that picture got me in so much trouble, but I'm so happy that we were able to come full circle. Now I am finally out of the doghouse. As always, Drinking Partners is the crew. Epicast is the family. And we out here.